The headlines: Corps members to receive new allowance month end. DSS recommits to ensuring safety of Corps members. ARUNA QUADIRI reclaims sport as Africa's #1 tennis player. A very warm good evening and welcome to the news bulletin on NYSC Radio and TV. My name is Deborah Olumayowa. Now the news in detail. Members of the National Youth Service Corps NYSC will begin to enjoy the newly reviewed federal allowance of 77,000 naira with effect from March 2025. This was revealed today by the Director General of NYSC, Brigadier General O.O. Nafiu, while addressing Corps members serving in the Federal Capital Territory at NYSC Zonal Office, Wuse Zone 3 and Old Parade Ground, Garki area, respectively. The Director General informed the Corps members that the Ministry of Finance have communicated to the scheme that the funds are ready for disbursement.
That was when Mr. President signed the appropriation bill into law. So, and with that, that now empowers the Ministry of Finance and every organ of government to fund the budget. Because it was signed February 28, there was it was practically impossible for you to get the new Alawi for the month of February, right? But with effect from March Alawi, I can assure you
He explained that the delay of the new allowance implementation was a result of the late signing of the 2025 appropriation bill. While appreciating the Corps members for keeping faith with the objectives of NYSC's founding fathers by fostering national unity, integration and development, the NYSC helmsmen implored them to equally imbibe the wordings of the NYSC anthem. Brigadier General Nafiu equally urged the Corps members to utilize all communication channels availed by the scheme to relate any complaints or suggestions that would improve its operations. Moving forward, the State Director, Department of State Service, DSS, Mr. Babajide Adisa, has reaffirmed the agency's commitment to Corps members' security. Mr. Adisa made this remark when he received the Lagos State NYSC Coordinator, Mrs. Christiana Samwang, during a courtesy visit to his office. He pledged to strengthen existing ties with the NYSC to support its mandate. Earlier in her remarks, Mrs. Samwang commended the DSS for its role in supporting NYSC activities, particularly during orientation exercises. She also appreciated their efforts in monitoring Corps members and ensuring sensitive information is handled responsibly. She pledged for enhanced collaboration and continued push for strategic partnership to improve Corps members' experiences and overall program effectiveness. The National Emergency Management Agency is seeking a stronger partnership with the National Youth Service Corps to enhance disaster management efforts. NEMA's head of operations for FCT and Kogi states, Zachary Abubakar, made this known during a visit to the NYSC FCT Secretariat in Abuja. He stressed that NYSC widespread presence across the country makes it a valuable ally in disaster response and management. NYSC FCT Coordinator Samson Ateli welcomed the initiative and assured NEMA of continued support. He highlighted the role of corps members in emergency response through the Emergency Management Vanguard, where they received disaster management training. The visit ended with an exchange of souvenirs and a group photograph. Moving forward, over 500 underprivileged men, women and children in Seber community, Adokola, local government of Taraba State, have benefited from the NYSC Health Initiative for rural dwellers. The recent medical outreach held at the Seber Primary Health Center provided free consultations, testing and medication with core doctors, pharmacists and nurses attending to residents. While flagging off the first quarter of the 2025 outreach, the NYSC Taraba State Coordinator, Ella Aji Williams, expressed gratitude to the community for their warm reception. He noted that the initiative is aimed at delivering essential healthcare services to undeserved communities in Taraba and across the country. Community leaders Wakili Aminu Musa and Yohana Philemon lauded the NYSC for the intervention, describing it as a first-of-its-kind effort that would ease the community's healthcare burden. The outreach also featured health talk, free deworming and vaccinations for children. The HIRD program, active for over a decade, continues to provide free healthcare to rural communities, complementing government efforts to improve public health. We're going on a break. To return shortly, please stay tuned. Welcome back.
Hey there, prospective corps members, listen close. Nighttime's not your friend, it's a danger zone. Shadows lurking, roads unclear, don't let adventure turn to fear. Stay safe, stay bright, keep your journey light. Board vehicles only in designated parks and garages.
Break your journey by 6 p.m. and sleep over in any safe place like military or police barracks, and continue your journey the next day. You need to be alive first, before you can serve your nation.
For PCMs heading through Funtua to locations in the Northwest region, the road is open to traffic till 5 p.m. according to travel advisory from the Nigerian Army. PCMs are therefore enjoined to document with the Nigerian Army in Funtua before proceeding with the rest of the journey.
This message is from the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC.
Welcome back. In a tragic occurrence, the Federal Road Safety Corps has confirmed that 6 people died and 25 others sustained injuries in a multi-vehicle crash under the Karu Bridge in Abuja on Wednesday. According to FRSC Public Education Officer Olusegun Ogunbemide, the crash involved 18 vehicles, including 2 articulated trucks, 2 buses, 1 jeep and 11 cars. Several vehicles were severely damaged, with some engulfed in flames. Ogunbemide attributed the crash to brake failure, which triggered a chain collision at approximately 6:58 p.m. He noted that emergency responders, including the FRSC, Red Cross, Fire Service, and military, arrived at the scene promptly for rescue and first aid services. He remarked that 4 of the 6 fatalities were burnt beyond recognition, while the injured victims were taken to nearby hospitals. The FRSC Corps Marshal, Malam Shehu Mohammed, visited the scene to assess the damage and condole with the victims' families. Ogunbemide urged drivers to conduct regular vehicle maintenance, emphasizing that the FRSC remains committed to road safety through enforcement, sensitization, and collaboration with other agencies. Moving on, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company has debunked reports of an explosion at the Port Harcourt Refining Company in Rivers State. In a statement issued in Abuja, NNPC's Chief Corporate Commissions Officer, Olufemi Soneye, clarified that the incident was a flare release, which has since been fully contained. Soneye assured the public that there was no threat to staff, surrounding communities, or the environment. He urged the media to disregard false reports suggesting an explosion. In more reports, retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, the newly appointed sole administrator of Rivers State, has pledged to work with stakeholders to restore peace and stability in the state. Speaking to journalists after his swearing in by President Bola Tinubu at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, Ibas emphasized that maintaining law and order is his top priority. He stressed that meaningful progress in Rivers depends on stability and assured collaboration with all relevant parties to achieve this. President Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers on Tuesday due to the ongoing political crisis. Ibas will oversee the state affairs for an initial 6-month period. As a former chief of naval staff and ex-Nigerian High Commissioner to Ghana, Ibas brings decades of leadership experience to his new role. Now, on the foreign scene, the United Nations Development Programme has called on Namibia to enhance its tax oversight to curb avoidance by multinational enterprises and boost revenue. Speaking at the launch of the Tax Inspectors Without Borders program in Windhoek, Resident Representative Alka Bashar emphasized that strengthening tax administration would help Namibia align with international best practices and secure sustainable funding for social protection, gender equality, and job creation. Bashar highlighted that with development finance becoming increasingly constrained, Namibia must effectively mobilize domestic resources. The TIWB program will assist by improving tax audits, enhancing digital systems, and facilitating knowledge exchanges with international revenue authorities. The initiative, a joint effort of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development and the UNDP, supports 39 African jurisdictions. It focuses on transfer pricing, international taxation, and criminal tax investigation, particularly in the extractive sector. Now to sports. Africa's table tennis king is back on top. QUADIRI ARUNA reclaims the sport as the continent's highest ranked player. QUADIRI ARUNA is back in the spotlight, reclaiming his position as Africa's highest ranked table tennis player in the world. The Nigeria star has climbed to 18th place in the latest Week 12 ITTF rankings, overtaking Egypt's Omar Medat Assa. Despite finishing as runner-up at the 2025 ITTF Africa Cup, QUADIRI's consistent performances at the World Table Tennis tournaments this year have propelled him up to the global rankings. He remains the only African male player to have reached the semi-finals of the WTT Contender Doha, an achievement he first secured in 2023 and repeated earlier this year. Interestingly, while Omar claimed victory at the Africa Cup, he dropped in the rankings, slipping from 17th to 19th place. Meanwhile, Denmark's Jonathan Gropp moved up to 17th and QUADIRI climbed from 19th to 18th, reaffirming his dominance on the continent. Earlier this year, QUADIRI's children, Miriam QUADIRI Jr. and Amira, also made headlines in Portugal at the VI's João Monteiro table tennis tournament, earning podium finishes while their father competed at the WTT Contender Doha. Now, with his latest ranking boost, the ARUNA name continues to leave its mark on the world of table tennis. Now to the entertainment industry. The comedy movie Finding Me, starring Funke Akindele and Benjamin Joseph, has claimed the top spot on the Prime Video chart in Nigeria. Following closely in second place is Suki, a film about a character who finds hope in an underground fight club. Picture This, a romantic comedy, ranks third, while 9 Days and Family Busy take fourth and fifth positions, respectively. The Groomsmen, a comedy about a groom and his 4 attendants dealing with friendship struggles, sits at 6th. My Fault, London, a romantic drama, comes in at 7th. Fast X and Christmas in Lagos takes 8th and 9th places, while Miss PG rounds up the top 10. Now we've come to the end of today's news. To end the news, let's take a look at the major highlights. Call members to receive new allowance month end. DSS recommits to ensuring safety of corps members. ARUNA QUADIRI reclaims sport as Africa's #1 tennis player. On behalf of the news crew, thank you for listening. For more information on the latest happenings in NYSC, like and follow us on all our social media handles, including Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube. Search for NYSC Radio TV or at ARUNA Media. Once again, thank you for listening. My name remains Deborah Olumayowa. Bye for now.